100%. This is our segment called Parenting and Trauma. It's where we talk about our parenting a little bit and a little bit about our trauma. My father treated us like servants. I'll get into it in a whole nother video because it's just a lot, but my father used to use a bell chime to call us. He'd stay in bed and he'd hit a little doorbell, and then we'd come and get whatever he needed. Was he capable of getting out of bed? Yeah. The sound of bells like that bother me so much now I can't have doorbells in my home. But I was taught to serve. So much so, when I got to be a teenager, it was very hard to think for myself because I had been taught to do exactly what I was told at all times. And we grew up in a kind of religious home, so on top of everything else, I was only trying to appease my parents at the time by the music that I would listen to. I listened to like Skillet and Jars of Clay. And it really wasn't until I turned 18 and got my first tattoo that I realized that I was not happy with who I was. I was basically the starter set of what I am now. I was a servant in my home. And that's not being upset that I had chores. I had like adult chores. Having daily problems kids shouldn't have to go through. I had to run my family business by myself from the age of 17 to 22. My father had a heart condition and he was waiting for his disability to kick in. So I was expected to pick up all the slack. The only reason it ended was because I said I was going to college and he didn't fight me. But all that caused me to never really have a childhood. So as an adult, let's just say I grew up into the human version of Bear from the Big Blue House. Goodbye for now to you, my friend. And don't get me wrong, I am very happy with who I am now. Just because it's not fair doesn't mean I get that part of my life back. But we always got to keep moving forward. As I got older, I was so lost in my own persona, I wasn't even sure who I was. I was so focused on not becoming my father that I couldn't even figure out who I was. And then I had an epiphany. No matter what, you are not ever going to be the abusive parent you had. No matter what, they are them, and you are you. Are you going to have some narcissistic tendencies? Yeah, probably. Because the person that you trusted most of all taught you how to survive with narcissistic tendencies. And if you're out here and you think, I don't blame my father for being an abuser and I just blame his mental health, you have lost touch. I have said in videos, I blame his narcissism. I blame his bipolar. That's because he was untreated. He had mental health problems he did not take care of, and because of the way his brain worked, he was more abusive. He was paranoid, he was scared, and he also was abused as a child. In a whole different way, but still abused. The thing is, we are always going to be shaped by our parent, but you are not your parent, you're you, and you are better. Be better. You're doing a great job. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.